What is up, guys? Pappy here, and in today's video we're going to go over a Storm Grenade Titan build for Arc 3.0 Titans. So first things first, you can use whatever super you want. I prefer Thunder Crash. For your class ability, you're going to want to use Thruster as it has the lowest cooldown. I'll explain why that's important later. Along with Thruster just being really good in PvP, it's just an optimal option. You can use whatever jump you're comfortable with and whatever melee you're comfortable with. If you're wondering what I use, I'm going to be using Strafe Lift for added mobility and Thunderclap because I prefer a ranged melee anyway. Obviously, we're going to be using Storm Grenade. For your aspects, you can use Knockout or Juggernaut. I'm going to be using Knockout. It really doesn't matter which one you want, it's up to you. For our other aspect though, of course we will be using Touch of Thunder. So you're going to get a buff to your Storm Grenades and any other grenade you may want to use. But for this build we're going to be using it for the Storm Grenade buff. So it says, after detonating, it creates a roaming thundercloud that tracks nearby targets and fires bolts of lightning at foes beneath it. This is amazing. If you have bad teammates and you just hate your teammates, and you really want to have fun in PvP, and your teammates are just constantly messing you up, or you know, they're just not up to the level that they need to be for the opponent you're facing. Whether that's the case, or really you just want to have 2 extra teammates on your team, then this is definitely the build for you. The reason I say you're going to have 2 extra teammates is that these Storm Grenades will be tracking your enemies after you throw them, and you're going to be using Armamentarium as your armor piece, as your exotic armor piece. It's going to grant you that extra grenade, and so you're going to have 2 buffed tracking storm grenades as your option for chasing down your enemy. So what this is going to do is that Storm Grenade already covers a wide area along with its tracking. So what you're going to be able to do is, if you're playing control, you can throw one of your Storm Grenades at B to go assist some teammates that might need some extra help, and you can go and watch a lane with your sniper, or you can go and rush B while your Storm Grenade helps your teammates out at A or C. While you run into B, you still have your extra Storm Grenade in your pocket, and you can throw one in there to supply you with the extra assistance you're going to need if you don't happen to have any teammates with you. On top of that, we're going to be using some fragments here to help buff our grenade further. So we're going to use Spark of Magnitude for our first arc fragment. Your lingering arc grenades, lightning grenade, pulse grenade, and storm grenade have extended duration. So what this is going to allow us to do is allow our buffed tracking storm grenades, both of them, to be able to have extended duration, which really boils down to, it's going to be able to chase your opponents longer than they would without this, and keep your extra teammate out on the field a little bit longer with you. We're going to be using Spark of Recharge for our other arc fragment. While critically wounded, your melee and grenade energy regenerates more quickly. This will help us get our grenade back quicker if we happen to be in a tough situation. Defeating a jolted target creates an ionic trace. Well, I realize that our arc grenades do not jolt our targets unless you're using the lightning grenade, but we're also going to be using the Spark of Shock arc fragment. And now it says your arc grenades jolt targets. So our arc grenades, we're going to throw 2 of them. They're going to have tracking. They're going to last longer. If we get injured in the process, we're going to regenerate our grenade energy a little bit faster. Those arc grenades, those lightning grenades, those storm grenades, not lightning grenades, but storm grenades, are going to jolt the targets. And if those grenades happen to kill the enemy, or your teammates kill the enemy, or you kill the enemy, or with your guns, or whatever it is, as long as that target is still jolted, killing that target is going to create an ionic trace, which is going to regenerate whatever your lowest generated ability is. So in this case, it'll probably be your arc grenades, because you're going to be using them so often. They'll probably be gone for a lot of the time, and your ionic traces will help keep those up a little bit more. onto our armor pieces. So of course we'll be using armamentarium, and we're gonna put on all of our discipline increasing mods to get our discipline up to 100, so we can have our grenade ability cooldown at 40 seconds. And 40 seconds is just the number that at base, with all of our other perks that are just going to help regenerate our arc grenades, then we'll be able to get them a little bit faster than even just 40 seconds. If we become critically wounded, it'll drop from there. If when we see some of these other mods you're going to see in a second, it'll drop even further. So really, you'll probably realistically be getting them every 25 to 30 seconds in actual gameplay. If you're just standing still, then it's just the 40 seconds. You can throw on whatever unflinching aiming mod you want, and whatever charged with light mod you want. I'm going to be using firepower, although I'm not going to say that this is like what you have to use, but while you're charged with light, you'll regain a portion of your grenade energy whenever you use your grenade. It'll consume that stack of charged with light. This will help get your grenade back even more if you happen to be charged with light at the time. So let's get on to our regular legendary armor pieces. So we're going to be using high energy fire, so whenever we are charged with light, we'll be able to have extra weapon damage on our targets. We're going to use ashes to assets, gain bonus super energy on grenade kills, and of course another discipline mod. For our arms, we will be using another discipline mod, and then grenade kickstart. Your grenade kickstart, you will be using 2 of these, and now you can swap out one of these for something else if you really want to, but I'll be using 2. So whenever you use your grenade, you will gain grenade energy back in its place. So with 2 of these, I believe you gain back roughly a fourth of your grenade energy, so you'll be able to get it back even faster that way. And if you happen to be charged with light, with that firepower charged with light mod, then you're gonna gain like half or most of your grenade energy back after throwing one grenade. If you throw a second grenade and it throws on some more due to using grenade kickstart, then you might be able to throw 3 grenades back to back to back. I haven't had that happen to me really just yet, but you may be able to throw 3 grenades, one after another. Down to our legs, I will be using taking charge to gain a charged with light every time you pick up an orb, and I'll be using another discipline mod. For the 2 other slots, I'll be using innervation, reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power, and absolution, reduces all ability cooldowns each time you pick up an orb of power. Down to our last armor piece, the Titan Mark, we'll be using bomber. Bomber reduces the grenade cooldown when you use your class ability, so that's why you want your thruster to be your class ability, because it has the lowest cooldown. It's really useful in PvP already, and then bomber is going to help you get your grenade back even faster every time you use thruster. We'll be using 2 of those, and then I'm going to be using charged up. It'll allow for 1 additional stack of charged with light. If you pick up 3 orbs from someone's well of radiance, then you will have 3 stacks of charged with light, and that will increase the grenade cooldown because you'll have the firepower, and you'll also have your buff to weapon damage with high energy fire. Onto our weapons. The weapons do not really matter in my opinion. You can always use whatever arc weapons that you just enjoy using, especially if they have a demolitionist on them, or maybe some other grenade related perks, but I definitely just recommend using whatever you prefer. So if you guys are going to be using this build, if you've enjoyed watching some of the gameplay in the background, I know I've covered it up with a couple of graphics over the video, but I'm just going to let some gameplay play out at the end when I'm finished talking. And you can just watch how to use the grenades. Is typically you just want to throw it in an area where you think a lot of enemies are, or where you think your teammates might need some extra help, or maybe you want the grenade to kind of cover your back while you look down a certain area where someone might come up behind you. You just want to use these grenades as if they were 2 extra teammates on your team. So if you're playing control, it's basically going to be like an 8 stack versus a 6 stack. And I think that this could potentially be a really good PvP build, especially in control. I don't know how it will perform in competitive or trials yet. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, if you're going to be using the build, I would greatly appreciate a like, a subscribe if you really like this build. I have some other Titan builds. I made one where you can get your thruster class ability back every 5 seconds. I highly recommend that one. A lot of people seem to like it. You can definitely go and watch that one. Maybe you can mix parts of that build with this build, and you can have a huge uptime for your grenades and your class ability. I encourage you guys to just experiment and make what you want. But if you enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe if you want, and I'm gonna let the gameplay play out through the end here, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Zone B lost. That shut them down. 3 minutes left. Keep the pressure on. A fire team that fights together stays together. Double down. Zone A captured. Power play. Keep the pressure on. I've seen enough. I'm calling this one. Victory is all I ask. Good. Double down. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage. Now you're fighting with heart, Guardian. Double down. Zone A captured. That's a power play. You took them, now hold them. Zone B lost. Strength in numbers, Guardian. Excellent. Let them come. This is their fate. Zone B captured. That's a power play. You took them, now hold them. Zone A captured. You have advantage. Fire team that fights together stays together. 5 minutes remain. A strong start. Fight on. Zone B captured. You have advantage. Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. Zone C lost. "10 seconds. Bring it home, Guardians." Victory well executed. Impressive. You could give the Redjacks a lesson in territory control. Zone A lost. Double down. Zone B lost. One after another. Three minutes. Hold strong, and this battle is yours. 2 for 1. Zone B captured. You have zone advantage. You captured Zone C. That's a power play. You took them, now hold them. Zone C lost. They have advantage. Zone B captured. Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours. Zone B lost. They have advantage. Double down. 3 minutes left. What can stop you if you fight together? Zone C lost. Enemy has advantage. 2 for 1.